AI isn't only changing what companies build, it's changing what careers look like. And the biggest question for most people isn't, will AI take all jobs? It's which jobs survive and which jobs upgrade, because AI doesn't replace the entire labor market. It reshapes the middle. The AI middle class is the layer of work that sits between basic routine tasks and high-level decision-making. It's the analysts, coordinators, associates, specialists, and managers who keep modern organizations functioning. And this layer is where the biggest change is happening. Not because these jobs disappear overnight, but because the value of the work shifts. Some roles get compressed, some roles get upgraded, and the difference between those outcomes is one thing: whether the role becomes more productive with AI or more replaceable by AI. That's the line. So this is why the AI middle class matters. Because middle layer work is where most white-collar employment sits, and it's where career ladders are built. So if that layer compresses, it affects hiring, promotion pathways, and wage growth. Now, which jobs are most likely to be compressed? It usually starts with work that has three characteristics. 1. It's repeatable. 2. It's text-heavy or document-heavy. 3. It's checked by someone else anyway. Think about the common middle-layer tasks inside companies: summarizing meetings, drafting emails, producing first drafts of reports, creating slide decks, extracting insights from dashboards, writing proposals, mapping processes, reviewing documents for completeness, routing internal requests. A lot of this work exists because organizations are complex, and complexity creates paperwork. AI can reduce the time required for this paperwork dramatically. That doesn't mean organizations become simple. It means the same complexity can be managed with fewer people. This is where entry-level and junior roles face pressure. Because many junior roles exist to do initial drafting, initial analysis, and initial coordination. If AI does the first pass, companies will hire fewer juniors, and that changes the pipeline. So the first big risk in the AI middle class is not mass layoffs. It's fewer openings, fewer graduate hires, fewer junior analyst seats, and fewer assistant layers. That's how compression begins, quietly. Now, which jobs upgrade? The jobs that upgrade have two characteristics. 1, they involve judgment. 2, they involve ownership. AI can generate options. It can draft content. It can analyze patterns. But it still struggles with accountability and context. It doesn't own the outcome. So roles upgrade when the human becomes the decision-maker who uses AI as leverage. A good example is the modern analyst. In the old world, analysts spent time gathering data, cleaning data, and building slides. In the new world, AI can accelerate those steps. So the analyst's value shifts toward interpretation, framing, and recommendation. In other words, less time building, more time deciding. That's an upgrade, if the analyst learns to operate at that level. Another example is project and operations management. AI can handle scheduling, documentation, and summarization. But coordinating humans, handling trade-offs, and resolving conflicts still requires judgment. So operations roles can upgrade into systems ownership roles, where the human manages the workflow and uses AI to keep the organization moving. The same is true in many professional services. AI can draft legal templates, but lawyers handle strategy, negotiation, and risk. AI can draft accounting reports, but accountants handle judgment, compliance, and interpretation. AI can produce marketing copy, but marketers set positioning and strategy, so the upgrade path exists, but it's not automatic. It depends on whether workers shift upward into judgment and ownership. Now here's the key shift. In the AI middle class, productivity becomes visible. In the past, many middle-layer roles were hard to measure. Work happened through meetings, coordination, and slow output. AI changes that. Because when AI accelerates output, companies can compare results more clearly. They can see who ships faster, who produces better summaries, who generates better plans, who uses AI well. So the labor market becomes more performance-driven, not only in sales but in many white-collar roles. This can widen inequality inside white-collar work. The people who learn to use AI as leverage produce more. They get promoted faster. They become more valuable. The people who don't adapt get stuck doing lower-value tasks, which are increasingly automated. This is how the AI middle class splits into upgraded roles and compressed roles. This is similar to previous technology waves. But AI accelerates it because it touches language, coordination, and documentation, the core of many middle jobs. So how do you know if a job is upgrading or compressing? Ask a simple question. Does the role mainly produce first drafts and routine outputs? Or does the role own decisions, relationships, and outcomes? If it's mainly first drafts and routine output, it's vulnerable. If it owns outcomes and edge cases, it upgrades. But there's one more layer: industry context. In regulated industries, automation moves slower. In high-trust contexts, humans remain central longer. In fast-moving digital sectors, automation moves faster. So the AI middle class will change unevenly across sectors. But the direction is consistent. Routine shrinks, judgment grows. Now here's what this means for career strategy. If you want to stay in the upgrading category, you need to become the person who can do three things. 1. Use AI to produce high-quality output quickly. 2. Validate the output, detect errors and risks. 3. Connect output to decisions and outcomes. In other words, AI plus judgment plus ownership. That combination is the new middle-class skill stack. It doesn't require being a programmer. It requires being a responsible operator. Someone who can manage workflows and decisions with AI assistance. This is why prompting isn't the real skill. The real skill is steering. Knowing what to ask, what to accept, what to reject, and what to do next. Now zoom out to companies. Organizations will redesign themselves around this. Fewer layers, smaller teams, higher output expectations, more automation, and a greater premium on people who can manage complexity. This is why the AI middle class won't vanish, but it will look different. The middle will become thinner, and the remaining middle will be more leveraged. So the question, which jobs survive, becomes the wrong question. The better question is, which roles become leverage points? Because the winners in the AI labor market won't be those who avoid AI. They'll be those who use AI to move up the value chain. That's the AI middle class story, not mass unemployment, but a reshaping of the ladder, compression at the bottom, upgrading at the top, and a new baseline for what professional competence looks like.